Welcome back to another live stream, and this live stream it's all about the big tech week. It's unbelievable. So many amazing earnings, and this is the best and maybe fastest growing stock investing channel from the Middle East. So thank you very much for your support, guys. As always, let me know in the comments, please, from where you guys are watching. All right, this is very important for me. Also, let me know how you are watching. I would like to know how you're watching. Do you watch it on the TV? Do you watch it on your iPad and your iPhone? Do you watch it, or you just listen to it, or you watch it after the live stream? This is something that I would really like to know, if you are watching live or afterwards, So I will definitely look into the comments for your questions as well. So make sure to drop your questions. And last but not least, before we diving directly in, make sure to leave a like, because apparently this is a secret the secret sauce of YouTube, the mighty like button, which will help this channel. So let's have a look into the main statement of this live stream. I believe that Google can bring out numbers tomorrow after the market closes and could negatively surprise many investors, right? I will invest in it, or I already invested in this. I bought a little short, just about, just a little, let's say, kind of fun trade. I would say, with like 3% of my portfolio, because I think that Google can actually really be disappointing. And this is the main statement that I want to put out there, guys. Remember that 11% of the 134 billions of revenues, of ad revenue, is by the travel industry. So we having airlines, we having hotels, we having travel companies. All of that 11% was only by travel, and this is obviously all gone. And you see less and less ads out there at Google, and I think that they are easily a company that can say, we did this, this is not Google is not about, Google is about the long term. They have this moonshot projects like, I don't know, flying cars, speaking animals, alien base on the moon, this kind of things they are working on, and and therefore I believe that Google will be a great company in the long term. Okay, but I'm betting here on a short-term event. I think we could be negatively surprised by how really Google will give us an outlook on the ad business. Moreover, this is also very important, why I bought this already today, is tomorrow morning there is a company called Omnicom, which is one of the biggest advertisers worldwide. So we will have a glimpse before the market open tomorrow how the advertising world seems to be a little bit destroyed. I also, as a YouTuber, I see the same. With my ads, I see, they declining. Less and less people are putting ads on videos. You see always the same video ads. This shows you that the ads that are running are actually getting less and less, and they have to fill the space. So it's some, maybe you experience this as well, that you always see the same ads out there, which is a sign that there's not much out there. So I think this could be the outcome. I'm giving it more probability that it will be negative, or rather to the negative side than positive. Therefore, I think my trade can be right. Not that I was right, but I don't know if you saw the oil price today. The oil price was amazing. I made like 30-40% on this trade, very successfully. I said this, I think, last week, that I believe that the $15, $16, $17 oil price cannot be sustainable in the next days. And here we come Monday, and the oil price went very south. I almost sold on the perfect spot even today. I closed the position can just those are my daily or weekly trades, just to spice up a little bit the time, and also if I see opportunities. Other than that, that I'm rather also love to invest into companies that have a long-term vision, because in the end of the day you can really predict what's coming up long term, but not that much short term. Okay, so let's have a look where our team of our night shift, at least here in Dubai, we have 6 p.m. guys. So let me have a look. DRK, our regular, he said it's a fun day on the markets today. Yes, absolutely. It's positive. That's why you see the positive light on the green light on the studio right now. Egypt, we have Canada. We have Florida. We have our Kyo Shutub from Seattle, one of our members. He is watching on the iPad. We have Ethan from Israel, Bahamas, and Steve didn't wanted to mention where he is from. So Steve Sullivan, if you're still watching, let us know where you're coming from. So let's have a look. What is further important for myself that I put this theory out there that maybe Google earnings will be bad. Though, don't forget, tomorrow's live stream will be all about Google. So I will be live at the earnings tomorrow at the same time, just an hour later, just when the market close, I will be live and we will look live the stock reaction. We will see what the investor letter will say, if there is one, and also we will see the earnings and numbers. Very, very interesting. So let's have a look here into the earnings calendar this week. This is very important as well. So tomorrow we have, beside Alphabet, which is Google, we will have also Ford, we will have 3M, Caterpillar. So we going into the industry. In the industry sector, we will see what's going on there, how companies are affected right there. We are seeing the consumer side of things, like Starbucks and Google or Alphabet is definitely more into the consumer, how the advertising is going on, how the people are spending, Then on Wednesday, very interesting day, we have Boeing, we have Facebook, we have GE, we have Tesla, and we have Microsoft. Then Thursday is also very interesting. Amazon, for me, one of the biggest earnings beside Tesla and obviously Alphabet now. Also McDonald's, we will see how McDonald's is. Visa is reporting, and Apple, we know that if the Apple a day kept the doctor away. So on the Friday, we will see a little bit of energy with ExxonMobil and industrial or infrastructure company with Honeywell. So this is the earnings week that is coming up. I think pretty much exciting, and therefore I will be definitely tomorrow live with the earnings, day after tomorrow live with the earnings, day after tomorrow. We will have so many earnings, guys. After this week, you need the earnings weekend. So definitely interesting. Let's have a look. Before we going into that, I want to show you something. Let me see where it is here. This is very important to understand to establish the today's very important message, and why I think ads will be screwing companies like Google and Facebook. Look at that. 88% of the whole revenue is coming from ads, guys. This graphic is really great because it's showing you the big FANG stocks without Netflix here, obviously, because Netflix just making subscriber revenue or placing ads. But you see here the Alphabet is 88% ads, guys. Facebook even more, 97% ads. And can you imagine if the biggest revenue driver, is going down? You know what then happens? Then Google announced to cut marketing budget by as much as half. Directors warned hiring freeze. Well, this is actually two big statements after each other, guys. This is huge. They wanted to get 20,000 new Google employees this year. They have already like 130,000, and this is absolutely everything is free. So this is showing you how one of the most wealthiest companies in the world is not hiring and spending as half of their marketing budget. This is, this is really, really big statements here. And therefore, I think there's something going on. I think, even when the numbers will be okay-ish, we still maybe will have some messages out there, saying that, the next couple of quarters will be so challenging and we don't know how it will further go. Small businesses, which is a big part of their earnings of the ads, because lots of people are putting ads for the restaurant. They're putting ads for their shoe manufacturer, right? For their small chicken farm and for the coffee shop next to your favorite sneakers outlet, this kind of shops and kind of advertising is being booked on Google, and everything is cut. The only advertising that you get currently on Google ads is somehow, the divorce lawyer, and we don't know why. So let's have a look what is moreover giving me a little bit of a bearish outlook on Google. I found this by researching today. In the last days, I found this, which I think it's one of the worst timings to do that. If you have less and less advertisers or people who spending the advertising dollar, you want to obviously make it as easy as possible for them to spend this $1 that they want to spend, right? You don't want to go with this dollar to any other outlet, but Google decided they will require advertisers to prove who they are. Businesses will have to provide documentation to show their location and also show that they are legitimate. So you got my point. So I think also here it's showing you guys that it's not even the amount of money they put. Even it's harder to put this dollar into advertising, but there's also a little bit of a good part of this story, at least for those companies who want to book some advertising. So this is a part of an article that I found, which is backed by the New York Times statement, and it's saying once abundant travel and entertainment ads have all but disappeared from Google search. Okay, so this is point number one, totally disappeared. Then on Facebook, we have advertisements at lowest lows, record lows. Okay, so it was never so cheap. This obviously is the demand lag that we having the cheapest ads available in Facebook, which showing us the business is great. So they have to reduce price, so they have more people coming in. Then they have Facebook ads, and this is the highlights that I'm reading and read. Facebook ads have declined 35% to 50% on average in recent weeks. This is crazy if you consider that this is the most of Facebook revenue that is coming in, and also 50 Google searches that run last month. The person who wrote this, found no paid ads for travel and restaurants, not even for Las Vegas hotels. This is insane, guys. This is insane. One of the most interesting medium to book advertising is completely dry out, and this is crazy. And this is why I think this is an opportunity for the market. You have sometimes this little opportunities where you're saying, it's rather more probability that it's negative than positive, and the risk reward is great. So I had this with the oil, as if you're following. If you're not following, then maybe this is the best opportunity to hit now that subscribe button and ring the bell and thumb up for this algorithm. This is very important. Thank you. And I think that there's even more to that. I want to even add more. As much as information I can give you today, obviously you can make your own investment decision. This is only for entertainment, information, and education purpose only. I'm not a financial advisor, and neither is our bull, so don't trust us. Make your own research. And I want to show you something that I said bit of time ago. Well, this is also very important. This is today's vlog where I talk about the fake meat and the opportunity of Beyond Meat, but actually this is not the graphic that I wanted to show you guys. This one. I said in one of my previous vlogs, no, sorry, live streams, so if you're watching, you are very lucky, because this is what I said. When going through the earnings calendar, I saw, Snapchat will be one of the interesting parts for the social media game to show us how the advertising is going on. And what happened? Snap totally surprised us, right? More revenue than we thought, and this was absolutely great for Snapchat. And this is not that common information. I had to really dive deep. The profile, okay, of Snapchat clients and Facebook clients is very similar, okay? This means that a huge correlation between Facebook and Snapchat earnings can be made, and therefore I believe that the more clever part is to short Google than Facebook. And now we are concluding the overall situation, which is in the very beginning, the advertising age is going to end, and I think that Google is the better short-term play, right? So I think that's really press the most important information together. I hope I could explain it very well. So let's have a dive into the comment section. So Germany is there on the computer. So following on my iPad, using my laptop. Then we have Tesla is getting 1K if we beat expectations. I think, the question is, what is really the expectations, right? Do the Tesla invest? Now I'm totally putting away the analysts, okay? The analysts putting numbers together, they crunch numbers, and most of the time they are wrong anyway, okay? So let's put this to the side. But what is, and this is the secret sauce of earnings investing, which is it has something to do with randomness, with luck, with market psychology, and so many things that I believe that it's really hard to nail it down. I think there's very, very less, maybe a really handful of really successful investors that are specialized on earnings, because this is really hard. You saw Netflix, right? Netflix was basically a few sentences in their PR that they released that totally put the Netflix picture totally in the garbage box, okay? So they said, yeah, we had a great day, I had great releases, and we have so much content. You could put a sentence as a full stop there, but no, you have to say, but most probably everybody after that will be, cancel their subscription. This will just be a one-time effect. Yeah, thank you very much, Netflix. So you see, it's also a personal drive and touch that the CEOs, the investment team is putting together out there for you guys. And therefore, I think it's so hard, so hard to ride the waves of the earnings. You need to be a very good surfer and very good researcher, I think. And then, plus luck, plus psychology, plus market sentiment. And then if you are right and the market, there's bad news anyway, then you are screwed anyways, so everything's done. So, I hope this a little bit explained the overall question, if the expectations can be bet. So, it's really interesting what is really the market expectation at Tesla. I can really, I think, do they, most of them expect a huge profit to be included in the S&P 500? I mean, this will be the most bullish the most bullish sign, right?
6.5 hours later.
But I think that maybe most of the people, I think, expect something in the middle. So they don't expect this huge profit that Tesla has to make to get into the S&P 500. They also don't expect that, bad earnings or huge loss, because, still we had the great deliveries more than expected. I think it's somewhere in the middle, and it's very hard to say. I have no idea what they did on the finance side. It's so hard to say, and whatever you are saying or calculating, and will be wrong anyway. So so it's very hard to say what Tesla come out. I'm really putting also some short-term trades to the side, hands down on that. This is so hard to predict. I think this will be quite interesting. It will be live here though, so smash that like button. Let's have a look. What else we have? We had other cars. So we have France there. Bonjour. I tried Beyond Meat last month in the state. It was very realistic. Oh, yes, sir. This is a very great point. I did just, as one vlog about this just today, one of my daily vlogs, and I tried, before I invested into Beyond Meat, I like to try the products, I like to speak with clients, and I like to try really to see what is behind the secret sauce, right? And I tried the very first time Beyond Meat, and I said like, wow, this is really good. This is even better than normal meat. And then the next week, you know what I did? I bought real meat and made the real meat and did the Beyond Meat next to it, and the Beyond Meat was better. And the consistency, it was easier to cook, it was easier to store, it was same price, a little bit more expensive. But I think, with time, economics or law of economics will bring this down and will be cheaper even than a real meat. And the taste was much better with the Beyond Meat. So, I don't know how you think, but I think the future of artificial food will be very, very important, and Beyond Meat can start with meat but go all over. Maybe they will do artificial bread, artificial fish. Imagine how we can go there. Tesla started with sport cars, right? Electric sport cars, and then now going into the mass market. And if you're hearing the CEO, Even Brown, then you really see how dedicated he is to build something very, very huge. He has things in mind, guys. He has really things in mind. While I'm comparing also the CEOs of Impossible Foods, which is maybe the biggest competition to Beyond Meat, and then Beyond Meat CEO, the Beyond Meat CEO is really having this grand vision of being one of the biggest artificial food company in the world. So I think if they don't make any big mistakes on the way, I think they will be fast forward to this. I think they are now at like 6 billion valuation. I think it will be fun when the stock will be one day at the 100 billion dollar valuation, and you will say I was there, I was in that live stream, I saw this vlog, and I hit that. I remember how hard I smashed that like button. Okay, so let's have a look. So I see here something about Model 3. Are you guys watching this live stream in the Model 3? This would be awesome, by the way. Bailout for Ford is very likely. Yes, that's true. I'm very curious if Ford need the money. Is Tesla also, let's say, credited or available for that money as well, to say he got this money, can I get this money as well, even though my financial situation is much better? This would be a question. If you know the rules in the US, this would be quite interesting. Then we have people from Netherlands. So many of you guys coming from Europe tonight. And okay, so let's before we end, I want to go, and this is very important for myself and for you guys. Let's have a look, the last look before we say goodbye to the markets, because the markets are open still for like 35ish minutes, and I think it was an interesting market today. In the top of my watch list, you see obviously now Facebook and Google. Google started strong but ended the day a little bit lower. Same for Amazon. The oil was absolutely crushed. It was a beautiful day to sell my short of oil. A really great deal. Tesla just went up 9%, guys, on the news that they want to reopen or called the employees back to work, even though they cannot reopen now. As I told you guys, Elon Musk will be one of the first guys to open, and the second that he can and legally is legal is able to do. I think this guy is so obsessed with the success of this company, you know, it's hard to bet against him. The overall indexes was up 1.6%, Netflix plus minus 0, Shopify a little bit down, Win Casinos hugely up also. The news that they maybe reopen already mid or late May is absolutely insane. I cannot imagine how this property can already open, but there is also some kind of, let's say, regulation and guidelines to that. I think in Nevada it's now said that you have to have 14 days continuously less and less cases, and then they will reopen. So this is still conditionally. Maybe, you know, if it's longer or we see a second wave, this can be an opportunity to see that short term at least Win go back down. I mean, the properties, the company is really so beautiful. I don't know if you ever went to Win Las Vegas. Is such a great, they have a great party, chain smokers, you know, really, really fantastic. So let's have a look who's up here today as well. Carnival and also Beyond Meat is down 10% because they had a small downgrade from one of an analyst, and therefore they are a little bit down today. But however, thank you very much for watching, and tomorrow live with the Google earnings, and therefore, you know, have a nice day or evening or morning wherever you are watching from, and thank you.